How our food is packaged is an important part of food production. Packaging protects food from contamination from other things. Traditionally, food would be wrapped in natural materials such as cloth or leaves. In Roman times, wine and oils would be stored in pots like these amphorae, or in wooden barrels invented by the Gauls, Celtic people who lived in France from 350 BCE. Glass bottles and jars are some of the oldest ways to store liquids or preserves, or to transport them from one place to another. Today we get our drinks in lots of different kinds of ways. We're all familiar with aluminium cans, but these are quite new, invented in the late 1950s. Plastic-lined cartons used for milk or orange juice were invented in 1951. These cartons allow food to keep fresh for months without it needing to be in a fridge. Lighter and less breakable than glass, plastic bottles began to be widely used for drinks in the 1950s. But using plastic bottles really took off in the 1970s, with the invention of a new kind of plastic that could also be used for fizzy drinks. Today, plastic bottles are used in their billions. They're one of the most successful inventions of the 20th century. But many people are now concerned about plastic pollution and about making sure single-use plastic bottles are properly recycled and not just thrown away. Now, packaging also has another purpose. It's become an important way of attracting us to buy one particular food product over another. But packaging is also an important source of information. It helps us as consumers to know exactly what it is that we're buying. When you buy a product from a shop, you'll see a list of every ingredient it contains. The ingredients are listed in order, with the biggest, by weight, first. Things people may be allergic to are also listed, like nuts, for example. The packaging tells you when the food or drink should be used by. And importantly, it often tells us where a product comes from, so that you know how far it's travelled. All of these things help us make informed decisions about the food we buy. Packaging also gives us nutritional information to tell us what kind of nutrients the food contains. Some countries use visual guides to help us understand this easily, such as the traffic light system. Here, the percentages of fat, saturated fats, sugars and salt, things we should make sure we don't eat too much of, are colour-coded. Red means it contains high levels, good for an occasional treat. Amber means it contains medium levels, fine in a balanced diet. And green means the food has low levels of these ingredients and can be eaten without worrying too much about getting lots of salt, sugar or fat. The purpose of packaging has changed over time. Today, packaging is designed to make it easier to know what we're buying and for the product to compete for our attention in a crowded food market. But packaging is also facing one of the biggest challenges of the food industry today. Is there too much of it? Sometimes our food comes wrapped in plastic and cardboard that we just don't need. Even simple things like vegetables or fruit come wrapped in plastic, even though we don't need complicated labels to understand them. Some people think food producers should cut down on packaging, using it only when it's needed to keep the food safe and to give the person buying it important and relevant information.